What is going on, Vikings Nation? Buckle up, because today we've got massive Minnesota Vikings news that could shape the future of this franchise. I'm Alex Skullfire, and we're diving deep into Kevin O'Connell's latest comments about J.J. McCarthy, the quarterback room, and some key Vikings free agents that could change everything in 2026. And let me tell you this right now. The message coming out of Indianapolis is loud, even if it's subtle. O'Connell didn't officially crown J.J. McCarthy the starting quarterback for 2026. Instead, he talked about competition, about hunger, about growth, and that should have every Vikings fan paying attention. So the big question is this: do the Minnesota Vikings still believe J.J. McCarthy is the franchise guy? Or are we heading toward a full-blown quarterback battle that could redefine this team? Stay with me because this story has layers. Kevin O'Connell spoke at the NFL Combine in Indianapolis and made something very clear. This is a massive offseason for McCarthy. Not just another training cycle. Not just another year. A defining moment. After 10 starts last season, filled with flashes of brilliance and some very real struggles, the spotlight is officially on. Let's be honest, Vikings fans. 10 starts in the NFL is nothing. That's barely scratching the surface. And yet, in those 10 games, we saw the arm talent, the mobility, the poise under pressure that made him the number 10 overall pick. We also saw the growing pains, the hesitation, the missed reads. O'Connell called him hungry, and that word matters, because hunger is what separates good from great in this league. Hunger is what turns potential into production. Now here's something important that can't be overlooked. For the first time in his NFL career, J.J. McCarthy is heading into a fully healthy offseason. Think about that. 2 years ago, he was coming off a national championship run at Michigan, preparing for the draft, jumping straight into rookie minicamp, OTA's training camp. Then boom, a meniscus tear in the preseason. That injury completely altered his rookie trajectory. Rehab bled into the spring of 2025. Development time was lost. Reps were missed. Timing with receivers stalled. And in the NFL, development time is gold. This time, no surgery, no setbacks, just football, just growth, just work. And according to O'Connell, McCarthy is already putting in that workout in California with quarterback coach John Beck. That's the same pre-draft setup that helped him refine mechanics and decision-making coming out of college. He's not sitting back. He's not satisfied. He reportedly took time to decompress after the season, then went layer by layer evaluating his own game. That's maturity. That's accountability. That's a quarterback who understands the moment. But here's where things get really interesting, Vikings Nation. O'Connell emphasized something else. Competition in the quarterback room. He didn't promise McCarthy the job. He didn't guarantee anything. He said they want a competitive situation that pushes everyone. So what does that mean? Are the Minnesota Vikings bringing in a veteran who could immediately challenge for the starting role? Or someone who clearly slots in as a backup while McCarthy develops? That decision will speak volumes. If the Vikings sign a high-caliber veteran, that's a message. If they bring in a mid-tier depth option, that's another message entirely. The caliber of that addition could tell us exactly how the organization views McCarthy internally. And let's not forget, whether it's 2026 or 2027, in Minnesota or somewhere else, McCarthy will get another shot to prove what he can be. But the reality is this: opportunities in the NFL are never guaranteed twice. Now shifting gears, because O'Connell also addressed some key Vikings free agents that could impact this roster in a major way. Let's start with linebacker Eric Wilson. O'Connell didn't hold back. He called his season spectacular. One of the most consistent players on the defense. Versatile, smart, high motor, a tone setter. When a head coach says a player makes your building better, that's more than just on-field praise. That's culture. That's leadership. But O'Connell also admitted something very real. Other teams watched that tape too. Translation: re-signing Wilson won't be easy. It's going to be competitive. And the Vikings will have to decide how much they're willing to invest to keep him in purple. Next up, wide receiver Jalen Nailor. Development story. That's how O'Connell framed it. He called him a complete receiver and praised his consistent improvement. And Vikings fans, we've seen that growth. Route running sharper, hands more reliable, confidence growing. He's not just depth anymore, he's becoming a legitimate weapon. But once again, the same theme applies. Other teams are watching. When a young receiver flashes upside, the market notices. The next few weeks could define Naylor's future in Minnesota. And then there's quarterback Carson Wentz. O'Connell said he made the quarterback room better, even with his late arrival. That's intriguing. Wentz brings experience. He's seen every coverage imaginable. He's been through playoff runs. He understands adversity. The fact that O'Connell openly said they're thinking about him tells us the Vikings value veteran presence in that room. So let me ask you, Vikings Nation, do you want a true QB competition this offseason? Or should the Minnesota Vikings hand the keys to J.J. McCarthy and let him grow through the bumps? Should Eric Wilson be a top priority signing? Is Jalen Naylor part of the long-term offensive core? And what about Carson Wentz, insurance policy or real competition? This offseason is shaping up to be one of the most critical stretches in recent Vikings history. Quarterback development, defensive stability, offensive depth. It's all connected. One thing is certain. Kevin O'Connell is not closing any doors. He's pushing for growth, competition, and accountability. And that's exactly what you want from a head coach trying to build a contender. The 2026 season might feel far away, but make no mistake, the foundation is being built right now. In workouts, in negotiations, in quiet meetings behind closed doors. So drop your takes in the comments. I want to hear from you. Is J.J. McCarthy still the future of the Minnesota Vikings? What's your ideal quarterback room? Let's get this debate going. If you're fired up about Vikings news and want daily updates on everything happening in Minnesota, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with every member of Vikings Nation. This is Alex Skullfire, and as always, Skull, and let's keep building something special together.